Hey everyone, thanks for coming here and viewing my Steam Completionist review for Brotato. Brotato is a bullet heaven roguelike where you play as a potato that doesn't really look like a potato that can wield up to 6 weapons at a time to fight off hordes of aliens over a period of 20 waves that become progressively difficult as you progress. And why your potato guy is getting attacked by these aliens is unknown, but you just need to know you need to get rid of them for as long as you can. In an attempt to fight off these purple aliens, you're first faced with a character selection screen, and this exposes you to 44 characters the game has to offer, and each character has their own unique gimmick. For instance, the soldier potato requires you to stand still in order to shoot, which allows for you to strategize around when to shoot enemies, dodge attacks, or simply tank the hits. Whereas the speedy potato requires you to constantly move, or else you face severe stat debuffs. After selecting your character, you're presented with weapons that your respective character can choose to start with. For instance, the mage potato will only have access to elemental weapons, and the ranger potato will only have access to ranged weapons. However, for most characters, whatever you select here won't restrict you from selecting other types of weapons once you're progressing through the waves. After you select your weapon, you're able to select the danger level, which increases the difficulty of a run via harder enemy spawns and other things like that. And each danger level you complete unlocks the next danger level for every character in the game, which means you could finish a Danger 5 run on one character and instantly go to Danger 5 on another character if you choose to do so. Once you select your danger level, you're dropped onto the map and are tasked with, well, surviving. And every wave excluding wave 20 requires you to survive until the timer hits 0. However, on wave 20, you can finish the wave by either killing the boss or letting the timer hit 0. And with characters like the Pacifist Potato, letting the timer run out is required as you don't have the damage necessary to kill the boss before the timer runs out. In order to survive, you can use a variety of weapons, ranging from knives to flamethrowers, and similar to other games of this variety, your weapons will automatically fire, but a unique aspect of this game is that they will automatically target any enemy in range of you. And at the end of each wave, you're given an option to select a stat upgrade if you've leveled up during the wave, and the ability to choose or recycle any items that you may have received from the crates during the wave. And after this, you'll be able to access the shop, which allows you to choose an item to buy out of 4 options or so, with the ability to reroll for even more options. And yeah, that's the basics on every run that you'll experience in the game. However, there are a ton of things that you just simply can't predict, such as enemy spawns and the items you'll get. And the unpredictability is a big part of the fun. While some may see this as a negative, I feel like this is the reason the gameplay doesn't become too monotonous and feels dynamic with every single run. And due to the nature of the game, there isn't really a standard game time. It may be fairly easy to complete Danger 5 on a certain character, but doing the same on the entire cast will likely be a Herculean effort. I personally couldn't be bothered to do this, as there are a ton more games I'd like to play, but this would take a fair bit of time. I'd estimate it would take around 100 to 150 hours to complete Danger 5 on every single character if you truly wanted to do so, which is a praise to this game's replayability. Also, if you haven't been able to tell, the art style in this game is very similar to Flash games of old, and this comes with the familiar thick outlines we all know and love, with a simplistic and cartoonish look that definitely brings back good memories if you grew up with those games. And while those who haven't grown up with this art style may think that it's a bit too basic, I personally adore it, and the hand-drawn visuals remind me of games of a bygone era, and I just love it. Unfortunately, while I could gush about the art style, I can't say the same for the music or the sound effects. The game only has around 5 or so tracks that tend to blend into the background or loop enough to where you'll turn off the music by the 3rd hour of the gameplay. And there are also a variety of sound effects for all the different weapons and enemies, but I feel like the sounds also suffer from the same issues as the music. It just becomes too repetitive to the point it just starts becoming annoying and grating, even if the sound effects have the punch and the feel that they should have. But transitioning away from the game's artistic presentation, I'd say that my personal thoughts on this game are gonna be pretty short, because I honestly have nothing negative to say here at all. Besides the music and sound design, I think that this game does extremely well in basically all of the departments, and it's just an overall very fun game. And yeah, that's all I can really say for this section. Now, if we look at Brotato from the perspective of an achievement hunter, I'd say that there isn't really much of a shift in perspective actually. You'll go about the game in a similar way as you would if you were playing without focusing on achievements. A majority of the achievements focus on finishing a single run of any difficulty on a respective character or meeting criteria like getting 3 tier 4 weapons at once. And this may seem a bit tedious or like something you would have to go out of your way to do, but in my experience you passively get a majority of these criteria-based achievements. And honestly, these criteria are needed to even unlock all the characters, so you're gonna have to do them anyway if you want to play every single character in the game. And referring back to the criteria I mentioned before, if you get 3 tier 4 weapons at once, then you unlock a character called the King Potato, which of course you need to complete a run with for another achievement. And this is just an example of how the achievements just flow seamlessly, and I really do appreciate how they're structured. And due to the straightforward nature of the achievements, there isn't really any notable achievements that you'll need to look out for. There are no missable achievements, no time-based achievements, etc. Just pure completion of the runs and unlocking characters. And again, due to the straightforward nature of the achievements, there isn't really a roadmap that I could provide for achievement hunters in this game. The best I could think of is prioritizing the completions of runs on characters that provide the most useful unlocks, and just focusing on completing more difficult danger levels with easier characters such as the Renegade Potato or the Crazy Potato. But other than that, you're free to complete runs and unlock characters, and that's all you really need to do, and I love it. I love to see it. And Brotato took me around 65 hours to get all achievements, and the amount of time you'll spend with this game could vary depending on how good or bad you are at this game, but you can expect the completion time to be around the 65-hour range. However, if you weren't paying attention to anything I just said, then here's a quote-unquote roadmap that would make things clear for you, hopefully. Okay, so going a bit into my personal thoughts, from an achievement hunter view, I'd say that the achievements were fairly straightforward to achieve. You can achieve every achievement in the game simply by, well, playing the game. And sure, you may need to go out of your way to do certain things, but if you're playing the game normally, you would probably do that in the first place, so that doesn't even matter that much. And some may think that I'm unqualified to have an opinion on the achievements in this game, since I haven't completed Danger 5 on every single potato, but there is an achievement for it on Steam, so I really don't care. You could go do that if you want, but I personally don't want to do that. In conclusion, for the average player, Brotato offers a fun and dynamic roguelike experience that is both accessible and challenging depending on how far you wish to take it. And with a wide array of characters, each offering unique gameplay styles with an unpredictable nature that keeps every run feeling fresh, it's a game that excels in its replayability. And while its charming, flash-like art style evokes nostalgia, the repetitive music and the sound effects can detract from the experience after extended play. For achievement hunters, the game is refreshingly straightforward. It requires no elaborate strategies beyond simply playing and unlocking characters. I'd say that the pros of this game are that it has tons of unique characters. With 44 characters, all with their own abilities and gameplay styles, this game excels at providing a fresh experience. With each character, there's replayability. This game has a high replay value due to the danger levels, unpredictability of items, variance in characters, and the ability to choose what stats you upgrade. And we also have straightforward achievements. And the simple nature of the achievements allows for achievement hunting to be painless while also not being brain dead, which I really do appreciate. As for the cons, I'd say there's only one real con, which is the repetitive music and the sound effects. The limited soundtrack and the ever-present sound effects can just become a bit grating over time. Which, yeah, I mean, that is a con, but I wouldn't say it's the worst con ever. Due to these factors, Brotato will be receiving a 5 out of 5 for normal players and a 5 out of 5 for achievement hunters. And whether you're an average player or a Steam completionist, Brotato delivers an enjoyable and engaging experience that's well worth the time. And it's pretty good. I love it. So if you enjoyed this video, just be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And any constructive feedback on these videos would just be really appreciated. My next video will hopefully be able to come out much sooner. I've been quite busy these days, but oh well, it is what it is. But thanks for tuning in, and bye!